We actually are not quite sure what is happening. There are supposed to have been some collation in some of the local governments in Oredo and Ikpobaoha. All of a sudden, some people came in, threw tear gas, and kind of drove everybody that was there outside the office. They've now insisted that all of those collations should come into the INEC headquarters. The problem was our agents then started telling us that they were not being allowed into INEC headquarters. So my deputy and I came in here to find out why they are not allowing our agents to the collation centers. There are too many funny things going on all of a sudden, and there seems to be INEC complicity, police complicity, working together. And this cannot be right for democracy in this country. You know, they're trying to subvert the will of the people of Edo State, and it will not happen. By God's grace, it cannot happen. Edo State people will stand and fight for their rights. All of a sudden, you see all these funny results coming out of Edo North. It doesn't make sense. How do you have the full number of accredited voters or people who took PVCs when you know averagely it's 25% to 28% for a good election of people that turn up for the election out of those that are truly accredited? How? All of a sudden they're having 90%, 100%? And everybody sees this clearly. But we want to subvert democracy in this country by all means. And I don't know why we do this thing to ourselves in this country. The desperation for power by those who have nothing to offer the people of this country is just incredible.
So what's your plea now, sir?
No, I don't have a plea. The people of Edo State who have exercised their right to vote and have exercised it in the direction they want, for the candidates that they want, will stand up and fight for their rights. It's not about me. It's about us.
Asue Ighodalo, the PDP candidate in the Edo governorship election, complaining about the blatant violation of the electoral law by INEC. Collations are supposed to be done at the local government area. Yes, all wards under the local government area, they should assemble at the local government HQ and collect the results. If there is no security or there is any violence in the local government area, what the INEC should do is to call on the police to provide security. Moving the collation to the state INEC headquarters will subject the results to manipulation. Is it not the same INEC headquarters where Akpabio, Sanwo-Olu, Dapo Abiodun and other PDP governors are present? Why were they even allowed into the INEC state headquarters since they are not from Edo State? They are not part of the electoral process in Edo State. They shouldn't be allowed there. These are the reasons why people are suspecting that APC are trying to manipulate the results. And for those blaming Obedience or Labour Party for playing the spoiler in Edo State, have they forgotten that even Edo State Governor Obaseki chased a lot of PDP members away from the party? Who in his right sense will embark on impeaching the deputy governor in an election year, which eventually forced the deputy governor to decamp to APC? This was the same mistake Atiku Abubakar made in 2023. He was there, he couldn't unite the party, people were decamping en masse to other parties. Even some PDP governors formed the G5 that eventually supported Tinubu and APC. At the end of the day, Atiku and PDP members started blaming Obedience and P2B for dividing the votes when they couldn't put their house in order. This same thing is happening in Edo State today. Obaseki couldn't unite PDP. People were decamping en masse from PDP to APC and other parties. So despite the fact that the rigging by APC is glaringly audacious and blatant, people should understand that they are still receiving genuine votes from people. Imagine all the chieftains from PDP that decamped to APC. They all have followers. These are the people voting for them. They can't differentiate between Tinubu or the APC headquarters who have impoverished Nigerians. They can't differentiate between them and the local candidate who is Mondo Babelo. They can't seem to realize that voting for an APC candidate at the state level means they have voted for an APC candidate at the federal level, because the governor will eventually work for his party in a presidential or senatorial or other federal elections. This same logic can be applied to Obedience in Edo State, who are mostly PDP members. Majority of them supported P2B and Labour Party last year during the presidential election. In this governorship election in Edo State, they went back to their roots, which is PDP. That's understandable. But if they truly want someone like P2B to be the president of this country, why not support his candidate? Because you start at the local level. Remember what happened during the campaigns in the 2023 presidential election? Godwin Obaseki denied Labour Party the use of a stadium to campaign just because of party differences. Obaseki is somehow receiving the same treatment today from APC. Look at the way they abandoned and even chased him away from the INEC state headquarters.
Guys, stop that. Please get his face. Go to the front.
With all that is going on in Edo State, there is no doubt that INEC will do their normal mago and give it to APC. Otherwise, what is the likes of Akpabio, Sanwo-Olu, Dapo Abiodun and other APC governors, including PDP governors, doing at the INEC state headquarters? They don't belong to Edo State. Their constituency is not in Edo State. They are simply there to force INEC officials to do their bidding. It's as simple as that. They want to make sure they capture Edo State because of 2027 presidential election. Not just Edo State, they are planning to capture the entire southern Nigeria because they know the north is already gone. They will never vote for them. And rigging won't be as easy as it is in the south. In the south, people will just walk away. They won't even fight back, like the way they moved collations from local government areas to the state headquarters. People didn't resist. They just moved them. In the north, they will not allow that to happen. Rather, everything will burn down. The North is seriously aligning for 2027 presidential election. They will give a bulk vote to one candidate. Who that candidate will be is not yet known, whether it will be Atiku or someone else. No one is sure yet. So this is their ultimate plan. The fact that Labour Party didn't win the election in Edo State, of course it would have helped in 2027 presidential election, but remember that even before the presidential election of last year, Labour Party didn't have a serving governor anywhere in Nigeria. They still ended up winning 11 states across Nigeria, plus FCT. Also, there is the fear that the rigging in 2027 presidential election will be much worse than what happened in 2023. That's why they want to install their men in different states that will execute the rigging. And for those who keep saying that they give up on Nigeria because of those who sold their votes for 10,000 naira to vote for APC, you simply can't give up. The fact that you have the opportunity or the wherewithal to travel or emigrate to another country, not everyone can do that in Nigeria. There is massive poverty and people don't understand that they shouldn't be pandering or supporting their oppressors. They don't really understand it. When that money is just flashed in their faces, they kind of lose all reasoning and just collect that money and do what they are told. So this is a huge problem. The weaponization of poverty is real in Nigeria.
Wetin I just probably say, like as Okpewo Monday. So I want that we will win this vote so that our place will civilize. So we will maintain our place for us.
Anyone that pays as high as 10,000 naira to a voter, the person will never do anything in the interest of the state. It has become a business. He will first of all start recovering his investment with benefits. So no one should dream of a better state in the future because many of them have collected 10,000 naira to feed today, but they ended up mortgaging their future the next 4 years. So the truth remains that progressive-minded Nigerians must continue fighting to break the cycle. You can't give up. If you give up, then they have won. That's the reality. Don't let them win. Always resist, always fight as much as you can. Where you know that it has become a threat to your life, then you run to fight for another day. That's the reasonable thing to do. People can now see why Monday Obelo of APC dodged all debates during the campaigns. He had a plan. Someone that can pay as much as 10,000 to a single voter. Imagine how much he used to buy voters. Why waste his time debating and convincing people to vote for him when he can just pay them directly and say, please take this 10,000 and vote for me. And people collected the money and voted. Anyway, more updates on the results to follow as they continue doing their mago at the INEC state headquarters. Stay tuned.